What is happening, Magnusites? I gotta check this out. I need to find out what I didn't understand, because let me tell you something. This movie was, when I tell you, chock full of like just tons of Easter eggs and everything like that. I need to understand what I may have missed. So are you ready? Let's get it.
Welcome back to the Rockstars. I'm Eric Voss, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse ended with a gut punch of a cliffhanger, a true, well, what the hell now moment, setting up the next installment, Beyond the Spider-Verse, currently slated to release March 29, 2024. There's a lot to explain with this movie's take on the Spider-Verse, or I should say arachno-humanoid poly-multiverse. No post-credit scenes, so in this video, we're just going to discuss where this movie leaves us and what's coming next. Spoilers ahead! Also, I broke down new details of 2018's Into the Spider-Verse over on the Deep Dive channel, where on Friday I'm hosting a live breakdown of Across the Spider-Verse at Eastern. Support me,
especially in 3D.
Miles Morales Multiverse Dive shirts at nerdriot.shop. It's one of my favorite new shirt designs. I'm gonna be wearing this all the time. And thank you to Boxsuit for sponsoring this video. More on their tasty offerings later. So in 2023 Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales learns that the Spider Society of Miguel O'Hara has excluded Miles because he is an anomaly. That his spider, Alchemax Spider number 42, came from another universe, Earth 42, and was never supposed to bite him. According to Miguel, this Collider event caused Miles' universe's Peter Parker to die, it left Earth 42 without a Spider-Man, and it created the multiverse-consuming villain, the Spot. In Miles' universe, Jonathan Owen, revealed in this movie to be the alchemic scientist in the 2018 movie that Miles threw a bagel at, producing that hilarious action word of bagel. So Miguel explains the nature of the Spider-Verse, aka the web of life and destiny, or in his words, Spiderverse.
It's called the arachno-humanoid poly-multiverse.
You always lose me with that.
This web, he says, is made up of interlocking nodes of canon events, critical rites of passage for all spider people, which include deaths of loved ones and sacrificial deaths of police captains, which for Gwen Stacy would be her father George Stacy, and for Miles would be his father Lieutenant Jeff Morales, soon to be Captain Jeff Morales. And Miles, as an anomaly, disrupts these canon events just by his nature, which we saw in Momentum, when Miles saves Privateer Pravacar's girlfriend's father, Captain Singh, from the fallout of the crumbling Alchemax building in that universe. So Miguel and his society trap villainous anomalies from the multiverse in these amber-colored shells, including a live-action cameo by Donald Glover as an alternate universe Aaron Davis Prowler. Remember, Glover played Aaron Davis in 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming in the MCU. Now, he wasn't necessarily Prowler yet at that time, and he also cameoed in 2018's Into the Spider-Verse on Aaron Davis's TV from an episode of NBC's Community, when, as the character Troy, he wore Spider-Man PJs. Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, voiced Miles Morales in the Ultimate Spider-Man animated series. So Miguel tries to encase Miles for just a few days to let Miles' father Jeff die back on Earth 1610, because we know the Spot is targeting him. But Miles is able to use his electricity powers to explode out of the energy field, and he flees all the spider people in the HQ. He lures everyone on a chase on a high-speed rail train of Nueva York. Then he fries Miguel's techno-organic suit and leaps back down to the lab, where he uses a machine to cocoon him in a shell that will send him back to his home reality based on the DNA of the spider that bit him, so that he can save his father. Miguel does the same to Gwen Stacy, sending her back to Earth 65 with no multiverse gadgets, so she's not able to help Miles. Bringing us to the final act, where things get really eerie. Miles dashes home through the rain. He passes reflections of Spider-Ham, Penny Parker, and Spider-Man Noir, his friends from the 2018 film. But this red and green tinted world just looks a little off compared to the Brooklyn he left behind. Meanwhile, Miguel leads a search party of Jessica Drew and Ben Reilly to Earth 1610 to stop Miles and to let Jeff die and defeat the Spot. Gwen Stacy, meanwhile, back in Earth 65, makes peace with her dad, George, who decided to resign from the police force and therefore not be a captain. And he gives her a different gadget designed by Hobie Brown that Gwen's able to use to go to 1610 to help Miles. So Miles has gone home, but a little detail in this bedroom, boxing gloves now hanging from the doorknob. This is a room of a Miles who's still working the bag. So Miles tells his mother Rio that he's Spider-Man, and we think Gwen is listening outside, but Rio doesn't know who Spider-Man is. And for a second, we think it's a joke, that Rio might just not be caught up on current events, but no. Like the classic Silence of the Lambs fake out, where Clarice Starling is going to one home while the FBI is raiding a different home. Gwen is actually outside a different location in a different universe. Miles' empty bedroom in 1610. Meanwhile, Miles realizes he is not in his home universe. That machine back in Nueva York was based on the DNA of the spider that bit him, which was not from 1610, it was from Earth 42, a universe with no Spider-Man. In this universe, Uncle Aaron is still alive. He says, "Hey, calling back his shoulder move advice from the first movie, and he asks Miles why he took his braids out. So Aaron, a criminal, has been giving Rio to help her make ends meet, and it's taken Miles under his wing. They go to the roof, and they see the memorial mural is not of Aaron, but of Miles' father, Jeff Morales. Jeff is dead in this universe. Miles gets knocked out.
And, alright, I'm going to wait for this, but it makes me wonder if, this is all spoiler stuff anyway, if Miles killed his father. If he killed his own father in this movie. I mean, in this reality, where he is the Prowler, which is coming up.
And he wakes up tied to Aaron's punching bag in his apartment. The one that Miles and Aaron worked out with in the 2018 film, and the one that Miles tied Peter B. Parker to. Aaron now reveals that he is not the Prowler, someone else is. And a younger Prowler steps forward and unmasks himself. It's the face of Miles. His hair is braided. The credits identify this as Miles G. Morales. He's voiced by Gerald Jerome. Our Miles' shocked face is lit by red on one side, blue on the other, but in the middle, those two colors mixed, Prowler purple. A color that, not to get too nerdy about this, does not exist in the normal spectrum of light, because in the spectrum of all visible light by the human eye, blue is on one side, red is at the other end. Our rods and cones just kind of mix them together in our heads. That's why purple is often associated with villains in these movies, because it's just not from this world. So our Miles says, if I don't get home, our dad is going to die. But Prowler corrects, your dad. Our Miles begs, please, you have to let me go. The Prowler says, why would I do that? And he clenches his armored fist and presses the punching bag right beside Miles' face. So the film ends with the spot closing in on Miles' father, Jeff, back in 1610, but we hear this wild drum solo, taking us back to the opening image of the movie. Gwen Stacy's drumming with her band, the Mary Janes. Remember, this movie began with Gwen Stacy leaving her band, and now she says she found a new band. The combined forces of herself, Gwen Stacy, Peter B. Parker, Hobie Brown, Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, and Spider-Ham on course to rescue and avenge Miles. End of movie, no post-credit scene.
That suited me up right there.
Spider-Verse. But how do any of them untangle this mess? Well, you could say Miles' dad might just be able to go the George Stacy route and resign from the PDNY, but I don't know. That seems like a technicality and not really be able to undo the anomaly of Miles' existence as a Spider-Man. Of course, it's also possible that Miguel's interpretation of the rules of the web and life and destiny are not sacrosanct, and that rather than Miles being the exception, the anomaly, the mistake, the Spider-Verse might be stronger if more spider people were bitten by spiders from other dimensions, because it would make them responsible not just for their homes, but other neighboring universes. One thing we've learned about these movies is that sometimes folks just have to live in multiple worlds at once. And so maybe by defeating Prowler Miles in the next movie, the solution could be to save him by getting him bitten by a radioactive spider from another universe. And since this movie established Spider-Verse canon events, as Andrew Garfield Peter Parker mourning the death of Captain Stacy from the 2012 Amazing Spider-Man film, and Tobey Maguire Peter Parker grieving Cliff Robertson Uncle Ben's death in that movie, two universes we know are linked to the MCU by Spider-Man No Way Home. And the Spot in this movie visited Mrs. Chen from Venom, a universe this movie labeled Earth 688, and we also, of course, got a live-action MCU actor, Donald Glover, in an animated world. It's just inevitable that Beyond the Spider-Verse is going to leave us with a live-action Miles Morales who can exist in the MCU. Now, my Easter egg breakdown of this film is coming this weekend on the main New Rockstars channel, with more videos and explanations to come beyond that. Subscribe to the deep dive, though, for deeper analyses, including my live breakdown of this movie.
So Friday, all the Easter eggs coming up.
A Miles Multiverse Dive shirt at nerdriot.shop. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EABoss. Follow New Rockstars and subscribe to New Rockstars for more analysis of everything you love. Thanks.
All right. Okay. I was thinking this is going to be both Easter eggs, but the title clearly says ending explained. Sometimes I just think it's going to be everything. Yeah. So all you Spider-Man fans out there, especially if you're a Miles Morales fan, make sure you see the movie. You know, I gave it a 3 out of 5. Many love it more than I did. I just felt it was a little too long and slow at some points. But other than that, I enjoyed myself as a Spider-Man fan. Like I said, I loved the first movie, so, you know what I mean? Let's get it. Can't wait for those Easter eggs. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed my reaction, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. 10 million subscribers. Woo!